People would say that you can go for the option of getting the business from someone who wants to sew and then going to the market or looking for tailors who have the shop and all the equipment to sew it. Isn't that an option?
I think that comes with a lot of heartache. That would be really stressful. So I think it's just better. I remember there was a time I was borrowing one of my friend's phone, my auntie's phone. They were using a really good phone, iPhone. Then so I would borrow because I could not afford one then. So if it takes you to borrow, then borrow a phone to take a picture. But I think it's just better for you to start in your room. Get a machine. If you can't afford a weaving machine, maybe you can be weaving your clothes outside. But taking the business out to someone's shop to rent, a lot of things can go wrong.
You know, so someone, I've spoken with a fashion entrepreneur before who said that he was into both female and male before, but he had to stop the female business because women come with a lot of palaver. Is that true? You're a woman.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, very, very true. Yes.
So how do you manage it?
I think the secret is paying attention to details, and don't forget, pay attention to details,
So how do you meet up with timelines? You know that thing that they say about artisans not always meeting up with timelines, always failing when it comes to their promises. They tell you that your dress will be ready today, and then tomorrow you get there, they're still on the job, or sometimes they've even abandoned it somewhere.
Okay, so I think that was one bad spirit and attitude I prayed away from my business. I didn't want that. I would rather not take the job actually, because for me, I'm not doing it as a means of survival. I'm enjoying it also. So for my brides, I tell them that I don't mind you coming in a month before or 2 weeks before, so that whatever fitting we need to do, whatever adjustment can be done a week before. But I have never, and this is going to be online, I've never disappointed someone and you come the day you're supposed to pick your clothes and it's not ready. It has never happened. And I think I just settled it. I would rather not take the job than disappoint someone. So it's that I make sure that I can meet up. I would do everything to meet up. If it would take me not to sleep, I would rather not take the job. There are times I've not taken jobs because I know that I won't meet up with the deadline. So
you said that you send clothes outside the country. Has this forex issue affected your business in any way?
Yeah, it has, especially in markets. I think it happened to me in the past 2-3 months that I costed a dress for a particular price, and by the time I got to the market, I spent half of my profit on that fabric to get the fabric, because it went, so for example, like literally this happened. I got a lace fabric for 4K per yard. I got back to the market like maybe a week or 2 weeks after, because she loved it and she wanted to make the same for her elder sister. And I was literally begging them to sell it for me 6.5.
What?
I eventually bought it for 6K, but that was a loss for me.
From 3.5?
Yeah, from 3.5 to 7,000.
And you already gave your word?
I already gave my word.
And the pricing was the former pricing?
The same price, because it was just like less than 14 days. If it was going to increase maybe by 10 or 20%, that was like
almost 100%.
And I was like, I don't think I've been that embarrassed before. Like, I was really begging it because it didn't make sense. Not like I could not afford that extra, but it just didn't make sense to my business. So, and he was telling me that call your customer now. No, I don't do things like that. You can lose a client that way. I'd rather use my money to make up.
Because you already gave your word.
Because they would think you're not being truthful or something. So it affects a lot. So sometimes I tell them that when I get to market or when I speak to my vendor, I'll get back to you on the cost of the dress. Okay. So it affects, but thankfully some of our clients outside Nigeria understand, and so when there's an increase in price, they just understand.
So what is the most difficult part in making a bridal dress?
I don't think there's really the most difficult aspect. If you can get the style right, it just needs time and detailing. I don't think anyone has given me a style and I tell them that I can't make this design. I don't think so. So it's just the most difficult part is interpreting that design exactly for the client, and that means you have to just pay attention to details, to getting the right fabrics and all of that. So there is really no difficult. Maybe one takes more time than the other. If it's like an embellished wedding dress, it takes a lot of time. If it does not have a lot of embellishing, then just in normal between 6 to 8 weeks, your wedding dress is ready.
Okay, so which of your, or should I say, what do you look out for in recruiting your staff?
Someone who takes correction, that doesn't give attitude. I don't know if I can know that at the beginning, but one way or the other, I just find out that if this person is going to be an attitude person, I would know from the day of interview. So, and someone who pays attention to details. So there will be a test. You make a dress, and by that we'll probably have an idea that you're someone who pays attention to detail or not. So that's what I look out for. Someone who is ready to learn, because we don't know it all. I'm still learning also. Someone who is ready to learn. Someone does not have attitude behavior, because it affects my atmosphere a lot. Then someone who pays attention to detail.
So what are the things for instance, what are the job opportunities in this business?
Okay, I think there is the production manager. Okay. Person that supervises the pattern, the making of the clothes, and checks the finishing. And there is the staff that is in charge of stoning. So for bridal, we do a lot of appliquing. Appliquing is cutting out patches from lace and paste it on the dress and tack it. So there is a particular team or a particular person that is in charge of that. There's a particular person that is in charge of beading, stoning, embellishing, and all of that. So I think that's probably the value chain. Yeah. The beader, the pattern drafter, the applique person, the production manager, and of course production assistants, the people that make the clothes.
So what was financing like? Did you get any help from anybody? Did you get a loan from the bank? How did you do it?
I saved.
Oh, while you were in school?
Yes.
Because you said you started from secondary school. After secondary school.
Yes. Yeah, I saved. I basically saved. I didn't get any special help.
You must be a really big girl. Saving after secondary school to start $1 million.
Oh, okay. So after secondary school, I just needed a manual machine and a manual weaving machine, and it didn't cost so much then. Okay. So the way you are seeing it now, you know that the foreign exchange has made things. Everything so then expensive. Things were quite cheap, and it wasn't as hard as it is. So I didn't need a lot. I think someone gifted me a machine, and from saving I got the manual machine, and from saving I got another machine. Okay,
that sounds more like it, because if you say you saved a secondary school girl that just finished from school.
Okay, and I was gifted a manual machine.
Okay, and then your savings added up for the remaining stuff. Okay, so I'd like you to advise, budding up and coming business fashion entrepreneurs out there. What were the mistakes you made you'd like them to avoid? How can they survive in this kind of business?
Okay, I think I said earlier, which is very important, know what exactly you want to do. Is it bespoke or custom made, ready to wear, or bridals, and focus. And if it is everything, then focus your energy on it. Keep learning. I find out that some people they stop learning, they just stay where they are. Keep learning. Learn to balance family, friends with business.
How do you do that?
Okay, so how do I do that?
Yes, how do you balance it? You know what they say, business thrives when family and friends pay for services rendered. How do you balance the
I don't believe that saying.
Oh, really?
I don't believe it.
Okay, so talk to us about it.
Okay, so for friends and family, I find out that they take it for granted. So where it started from was I hate adjusting clothes. Except I was the one that made it. Even the ones I make, I really don't like adjusting, but I know I have to. So that's why I always want it as perfect as possible. So I hate adjusting clothes. That put away a certain percentage of family and friends, because I don't take adjustments from people. Then they downprice your service, which also drags an upcoming designer from learning, because you just realize you're not gaining so much. Let me just stay where I am. I think that really dragged me. So when you give yourself value and you are getting value from the right customers that are your own, you will keep learning. You want to upgrade your skill. So when I had issues with some family and friends, I made sure that there wasn't any friction. I was just clear about it. This is what I can charge. So when I tell them, I would rather give you for free than take that price. Of course, they already pull back, because a common sense person will say, hey, give me for free now.
That means you go with the statement. You go with that saying that businesses thrive when family and friends pay for services.
Pay for. I thought you said when they pay, like when they are the ones patronizing
when
you.
they actually pay
yes, it thrives. But when you have okay, so this is why I don't really believe when you have family and friends that don't pay well, your business still thrives. You see, that is not really true. So just balance it and just be clear. Try not to do it in a way that will cause rift or friction. Just be clear, this is what I can render, and of course you have to be confident about what you are doing and give the best. Be different from the Abele tailor or the under shade tailor. There has to be a difference between what you are doing now. Of course there will be mistakes, but just stay on it. Don't relent, don't drop the value, don't drop the skill, because that was a major challenge for me for years. I didn't know how to balance friends, family with business.